So today we're talking about an epidemic that we're all well aware of, type 2 diabetes, something that I'm very passionate about in terms of helping people and making them better. We're not going to be talking about type 1 diabetes, which is a lack of insulin. We're going to be talking about type 2 diabetes, which most of you are aware is a resistance to insulin. Not only is it a resistance to insulin, it's a lack of production of insulin. Now, what is insulin? What does it do? Really quickly here. So insulin helps your body take the sugar out of your blood and bring it into the cells to feed the cells for energy. Now, if there's too much sugar in the blood, insulin over time is going to be reduced because it's overworked. And where does insulin come from? Insulin comes from the pancreas, a very important organ. And the cell in the pancreas is called the beta cell. Now, the beta cell releases insulin, but over time, just like you going to work every day and working very hard, you become sluggish, you become tired. If you're overworked, over time things become reduced. So that's where type 2 diabetes comes in. Beta cells don't work very well and they get deconditioned and they break down. Now, glucagon is something in the body that actually takes sugar out of the cell into the blood. When you're hypoglycemic, when you're lightheaded, and that picture, that's what your body's doing, is taking sugar out of your cell into the blood. Most of us don't have that issue as much. Most of us have too much, so that's where the insulin comes in. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that not only can we predict resistance to insulin from the cell and make it in an improved state, the other thing we want to do is we want to correct the pancreas. Now, most of us feel that once we get diabetic into the type 2 state, that we're doomed for life. We can't make the changes in order to make things better. We know we can. What we do know is that diabetes can go from diabetic to pre-diabetic to non-diabetic. So those on medication, those that aren't making the lifestyle changes necessarily, but want to make the lifestyle and dietary changes, we know that we can alter the position and you can get yourself off the medication and you can live a healthy and hearty life in a non-diabetic state. 90% of people are type 2, 10% of people are type 1. Now, there's 5 stages of type 2 diabetes. Stage 3 or stage 4 is the point clinically where you go into your doctor's office and you're diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Before that stage, no issues, not even any really change with blood sugar. So it takes months and months and years and years and years to actually progress to that state. So what we're doing with our life at that point is we're moving towards a diabetic, pre-diabetic state. So it's not, like I said, until we get to stage 3 or 4 that we're actually fully diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So it takes a long time to get there, it takes years to get there. It takes years, possibly months and years to get back to a healthy state, but definitely possible, and with the help of good lifestyle, some natural support, and good food, it actually speeds up the process and we can reverse diabetes from a diabetic to a non-diabetic state. So here it is. Here's my message as a medical professional, as a naturopathic doctor, as a parent. We need to start young. We need to start in childhood. We need to start with our children. Our children are going to be following us through the years, following our examples, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be living in a state of health or ill health. So we need to make the point of starting our children young, because at the age of 8 or 9, 10, 15, that's when the pre-diabetic stage 1, 2, and 3 set in. Now, when we see changes with our children, we also see changes within ourselves. So all those watching today may be tuning in because you are currently type 2 diabetic, so we can't start at an early age. We can only start now, whatever age you're at this point. But it has been proven that wherever you're at now, we can make small changes. So let's get into it and figure out the changes we need to make in order to move you from ill health to better health. So for children, here's what we do. Here are some steps for you. Number 1, get your child outside. Intrinsically, children outside in a natural environment, in the city, in the backyard, they'll exercise, they intrinsically will be active and be motivated to do more. So get them outside, that's number 1. That makes the ultimate change when it comes to a pre-diabetic and a diabetic state. Number 2, want to make sure that your child sleeps better. There may be issues with children's sleep, not a problem, easily workable and fixable with some natural support if need be. That's number 2. Number 3 is the most difficult one, is eat healthy food. Now, I know we don't always have healthy food in the fridge and in the cupboards for our children after school and that kind of thing, and even starting them out, but the small changes are what totally make the difference. So what we need to do is we need to get some of the sugar, some of the unhealthy choices out of the kitchen so that there's no choice but to eat healthy food. Kids will resist However, in time, kids will eat what you put on the plate. So make a change for your children, and ultimately it'll make a change for you as well, upcoming in terms of health. Now, sugar is the leading cause of death, in my opinion, in our culture these days. More addictive than drugs, more addictive than anything else that you can think of. So eliminating the sugar, that's the #1 way to do it. I know it's difficult because we're being bombarded left, right, and center with sugar every day, but we need to make one small change. Take the box of crackers out of the cupboard, take whatever it is out of the cupboard, one small change, and all one small change does is make progression to the second stage. So one small change every 2 months is going to make a small change in your child's life and a small change in your life. Now here we go, let's figure out what we're going to do with the adults out there. So you're at this point, you're type 2 diabetic. So we talk about one word, we talk about compliance. So what's compliance? We all know what compliance is. Are we able to follow it all the time? Not always. Patients every day come in and out of the office and everything sounds good on paper, good in talk, good in meetings, but in reality it doesn't always work. So diet and lifestyle are the two obviously hardest, most difficult aspects of health to change in most people. So I'm not asking you today to change your diet at all. I'm not asking you at all today to change your lifestyle. What I'm asking you is to make one change in your mindset in terms of motivation and focus towards better health, to go from a diabetic state to a pre-diabetic state. Simple herbs, something simple, something very, very simple. Something like ginseng, something like garlic, herbs such as certain mushrooms, something very simple, adding a little bit more fiber into your diet. That can mean just a little bit more fruit. We know we don't want to go too much fruit when it comes to diabetes. However, food combining is important as well. So protein, fat, we all know the rules, we've heard it all before. So here's my message to everybody watching today. What I want you to do is I want you to move in your own capacity, at your own level, at your own speed to get to where you want to be. Listening to me today, diabetes can change. It's taken years to get to that point. It won't take years to get back. That's a good thing. The healthy connection between your life and where you want to go speeds up the progression. You just need support, just need a little bit of natural health support, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of focus, a little bit of energy. Make one small change, be it a natural herb, some type of remedy, something simple that you know you can include into your life. Give it 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and at that point you're going to be feeling the drive and the motivation to make changes in diet and lifestyle, and that's the point where I urge you to make those changes. Sure, you can start soon, you can start today to make those changes, but don't do too much at once. Start small, start simple, and the progression and the movement towards a non-diabetic state and a healthier lifestyle is absolutely there for the taking.